And take in all the sounds you hear around you. And practice noticing them without them grabbing your full attention. And then do the same thing with the sensations you're experiencing within yourself, within your body. The thought vibrations inside your mind. It's not necessarily about stopping the thoughts. It's about training yourself to not get hooked by the thoughts. And draw your hands in front of your heart. Rub your hands together. Press your palms together firmly, merging the right and left hemisphere of the brain, the masculine and the feminine. Draw the thumbs into the chest, lift the chest up, shoulders back, face soft, spine long. Take a few rounds of deep breath and imagine that you're bringing energy from the base of the spine up and out through the crown of the head. And exhale, hold the length as you breathe out. You can imagine that as you inhale, drawing the breath from the base of the spine out through the crown of the head, that your breath and your length can extend 300 feet above you. And then exhale, remain tall and let the energy expand into your field. And then we'll begin to tune in with the one Om, one round of the Anusara invocation, and one more Om. Take a full inhale. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchitananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaye Niralambaya Tejase. Om. Take a deep inhale and hold the breath. Feel this new energy circling throughout your body. And then keep your length. Exhale. Bring your hands down to your thighs or your lap. Notice any shifts in your fields. It can be helpful to notice when you're doing a practice and you do something that gives you some kind of positive shift, to make note of that. So the next time you're out doing your life and you're struggling, you can remember, oh, this yoga tool gave me a shift. I'm going to try doing the Anusara invocation after I went into the grocery store. Okay. Let your eyes open. So today we're going to be working with this idea of this teaching on Lila, L-I-L-A. So Lila is this teaching of playfulness. And so in the yoga traditions, it says all the universe, all of this is like a form of play. There's even a story about the way the universe got created was Brahma, the god of creation. It was just him, and he was just this like big blob, and the only thing that existed was him. And he got bored just like being in oneness. So he created this force called Maya, which is illusion, that creates this illusion of separateness. So you think things are different than you. So he invented Maya and was like, Maya, I'm bored. I want to play a game. So Maya was like, okay, we'll play a game. I'm going to chop you up into millions of pieces. I'm going to make you forget who you are and that we're playing this game. Oh no, first she says, create this world. So she created all these galaxies and Earth, create a planet that can sustain life, create beans and greenery and all that stuff. Now create a kind of animal that's smart enough that it could figure out this game. So that's humans, right? Because we're intelligent. And then she's like, okay, I'm going to cut you up into a million pieces. I'm going to make you forget about this game. And then I'm going to put you in everything and everyone. And then the game is for them to remember that they're the same. So this teaching is that everything is play, and it's spontaneous play, right? Like you never know what's going to happen next. Like if you watch a child play, it's like you never know what's going to come out of their mouth next. And so even like this coronavirus is like, wow, what a spontaneous twist of play that's happening. And then we get the opportunity to figure out how we want to respond. Like, do we want to respond out of like seriousness or anger, which I like feel like is like kind of ingrained in us through society, is to be like really serious. Or can we like be adaptable and curious and try to remain playful? So even in our yoga practice, I can find that I get like really serious. Like this is my yoga practice and I can't be disrupted and it needs to look like this. So every once in a while, I think it can be really helpful to, in your yoga practice, try to invite in more play, or even like go play with kids or go dance in the rain or anything that helps you like create that childlike play. There's a great lecture by Alan Watts. I think there's a few, but he talks about how childhood play is practice for adult play, and how we've all been tricked into this living with guilt when we should be living playfully like a child. I thought that was really cool. So that's what we're going to take onto our mat today. So come up to standing. At the top of your mat, ground into your feet. Feel the four corners of your feet on the floor. Push into your feet to get your spine to go nice and tall. Bring your hands up in front of your heart. And if you'd like to set another intention for yourself this morning, now would be a great time to do so. And we'll start with half sun salutation. So as you inhale, stretch your arms up towards the sky, full stretch. And as you exhale, hinge at your hips, bow forward, touch the floor. Inhale, take your hands to your thighs and lengthen your chest forward. And exhale, belly draws in as you fold back down. Push through your feet, use your hips, come all the way up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, draw the belly in, lengthen the spine forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen your spine forward, push your thighs back. Exhale, hinge. Push through your feet, reverse swan dive, come all the way up. This time we're going to keep stretching, palms face each other. Take your right hand to your left wrist and do a side stretch up and over to the right. Push through your left foot, get more length through the left side of your body. Come back up through center, switch your hands. Side stretch up and over to the left. Push through the right foot, lift up through the right ribs, neck back. Come back up through center, reach up, draw the hands through heart center. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees if you need to, or if it's more comfortable on your thighs, your hamstrings, stretch forward. Exhale, bow. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Side stretch one more time. Inhale, stretch up. Right hand holds left wrist. Pull yourself up and over. So it's been my favorite side stretch variation. So stay in the side stretch, reaching over to the right. Bend both of your knees. Push through your feet to get a stretch through the left ribs. And now we're going to round the back backwards as we sweep the hands to the left. You're going to kind of round yourself backwards. You're going to stay squatted. Hands go over to the left, stretch up through the right ribs. Oh, feels so good. And then reverse, come back over to the right. Lift up through the left ribs. Stay stretching to the right, push through your feet, straighten the legs, and then use your core, come back up through center. Stretch both arms up. Left hand holds right wrist. Stretch up and over to the left. Bend your knees. Circle your spine backwards in opposition as the arms reach out around to the right. Pause, lengthen through the left ribs. Circle back around to the left. Straighten the legs, stay in the side stretch. Oh, come back up through center. Reach up, turn the back of the palms together, stretch the arms out, around, and down. Nice, kind of shake out the body with this spirit of play. Great, standing at the top of your yoga mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Heart forward. Exhale, plant to your hands, step back to plank, top of a push-up. Push through the fingertips, push through the knuckles. Keep the ribs in. Draw the throat back so the spine stays in one line, and rock forward and back a little bit. Plank can be one of those positions where it's like, oh, this is such hard work and so serious. Can we antidote that with bringing more fun in? Come into stillness. Knees up or knees down, lower down and pause, chaturanga. Lower down to your belly. Active feet pushing into the floor. Drag your spine forward and then curl up, cobra. Nice. Lower yourself back down. We're going to do it 2 more times. Push through your hands. Pull yourself forward as you open your heart, cobra. And exhale. Pull yourself forward as you lower yourself down. So continuing to find more length. Last one, inhale. Slingshot the heart forward. Keep the right shoulder back as you look over your left shoulder a little bit. Then keep the left shoulder back. Look over your right shoulder. And then head forward, pull, down dog. You can move around in your down dog or be still. 3 more rounds of breath. On your next inhale, sweep your right foot up to the sky. Exhale, step your right foot forward between your hands. Set up your legs for lunge, and when you're ready, come up, lunge, hands on your hips. Back leg straight and strong. There's a teaching about Hanuman, one of my favorite mythological gods, and about how his tail contains all the Shakti, which is this feminine, creative, playful energy, and it's in his tail. So on all of our yoga poses, the back leg represents the tail. So let your leg be strong and push through it, and let that push through the back leg encourage this stretch up through the spine. You can stay still, or you can do a side stretch to either side. Coming back to center, if you did the side stretches, look forward, push into your right foot, press up and balance. Step back. One more time, push up and balance. And step back. Great, hinge forward, plant your hands, downward facing dog. Stay here, move through a vinyasa. And then inhale, left leg up to the sky. Slowly step left foot forward between your hands. Get steady and then come up. Think about the Shakti power in your back leg. Lift your right kneecap up to your hips, so your quads engaged as you push through the toes, and feel the energy draw up and lengthen the spine. Stretch up. Stay still and breathe, or breathe your way into a side stretch on either side. Come back through center. Prepare yourself to press up to standing. Strong left foot. From the left glute, push into the left foot. Draw yourself straight up. And then slowly step back. One more time, push straight up. And back. Draw the navel in as you exhale and plant your hands. Downward facing dog or vinyasa. Inhale, right leg up to the sky. Push out through both of your feet, core and stretch through your hands. This time come forward to plank, draw your right knee towards your forehead, navel in. And then quietly, if possible, step your right foot forward between your hands. We're gonna move into a low lunge. So I like to use a cushion, so you can fold over your mat or use a cushion or go straight knee to floor. And take your hands up to your knees, or your hips, excuse me. Push into your right foot and your left knee and draw them together. And then from your hips, push into both feet. Front foot, back knee. So you're getting this lift. Stretch your arms up to the sky. And then as you exhale, draw the core in. This will help you lengthen forward. Plant your hands, tuck your back toes under, and straighten both legs. You could also have hands on blocks for this. Inhale, bend your front knee over your ankle, ground your back knee, stretch your arms up. Exhale, plant your hands, straighten both legs. 2 more times. The next time you make it into Parsvottanasana, which is the pose where both legs are straight, stay here. Come up high on your fingertips. Try to get your spine as long and parallel to the floor as you can. Engage both of your legs. One way to find that is to put a bend in both of the legs. Lift your kneecaps up to your hips, engage the muscles of the legs, and then push both of your feet straight. Pull your right hip a little bit back and left hip a little bit forward. And try to pull your rib cage away from your pelvis with your hands. Okay, bend your front knee over your ankle, plant your hands. Downward facing dog, seated meditation or vinyasa. Right, coming back to downward facing dog if you're not already there. Inhale, left leg up. Come forward to plank, draw your left knee towards your forehead. Core in, push through your hands, quietly step. Ground your back knee. Inhale, stretch your arms up to the sky. Experiment with what it feels like to add more activity into your back leg. Push through the right knee more. And we'll move with the breath, exhaling the legs straighten, fingertips to the floor. Inhaling back to Anjani-asana. The next time you make it to Parsvottanasana, stay there, both legs straight. Engage the muscles of the legs. Rotate the sitting bones back as you lengthen the spine forward and square the hips off. Left hip back, right hip forward. Push out a little bit more, that we tend to use the front leg a lot more. Push out through the back leg. Plant to your hands, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to plank. The knees up or knees down, lower down chaturanga, coming forward as you lower, trying to keep your elbows over your fingertips. And then open your fingertips wide for spider cobra. So you're up on the fingertips, fingers are active. Thumb faces towards the chest, fingertips face away from you, elbows up to the sky. Squeeze the legs together and push through the tops of your feet. Draw your navel in away from the floor and then push through your hands enough that you can look and see your belly button. This will help draw the navel in. Now lift your head up so you're looking straight forward and use your hands and try to pull your chest forward without allowing the elbows to spin to the back of the room. Take a few breaths here. Trying to pull more length in the low back and trying to bend in the more immobile spot of your spine, the thoracic vertebrae, the mid-back. Keep trying to pull yourself forward as you lower back down. We're going to do that again. Push through the fingertips, look towards the belly button. Lift your head up so the palate of your mouth is parallel to the floor. Draw the shoulders back, elbows forward. Slingshot your heart forward, draw the throat back. And then we're gonna do a little rotation. So turn so the right shoulder lowers down a little bit as you look to the left. But even as the right shoulder lowers, give it a little squeeze backwards for a pec stretch. And then come back through center. And then look over to the right. Left shoulder squeezes back, try to push the left shoulder towards the left elbow. Come back through center and pull. Oh, and then lower back down. Stretch your arms forward in front of you and actively stretch forward through your arms as you stretch back through your toes, maybe wiggling a little and try to get one more full stretch. And then plant your hands, downward facing dog. Look forward to come forward, bottom of your exhale, step or hop your feet forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, long spine. Your hands don't have to come on your thighs if you're feeling called to it. You could take your fingertips to your shins. Or sometimes when I feel warmed up enough, I do like my fingertips on the floor, just making sure you're not collapsing into flexibility or rounding. Bow back in as you exhale. Push through your feet, come all the way up to the sky. Stretch, stretch, stretch. We're gonna do another side stretch. So the right hand's gonna hold the left wrist. Stretch up and over to the right. Now you're gonna stay standing on your right foot and you're gonna circle your left foot behind you. So your left foot's gonna come over to the right and the foot can either be flat or on the pinky edge. And you can either step just a little bit or you can take like a deep lunge. Now you're gonna squeeze your right glute and push through the heel. Draw the navel in and pull yourself up and over to the right towards the left foot. Come back up through center. Release your hands. I love poses when it's like, ooh, what just happened? So much. Stretch your arms up. Left hand holds right wrist. Side stretch up and over to the left. Keep right shoulder squeezing into the shoulder socket. Left foot will stay grounded as your right foot circles around, however much you choose. Belly in, rib cage in, left glute roots to the heel, and that's what gives you the energy to stretch and pull yourself longer. Come back up through center. Kind of shake it out a little. Hopefully quarantine's given us all the ability to dance even more wild than we did in the studio. Okay, then come back towards stillness, towards the front of your yoga mat, hands in front of your heart. A great morning ritual, if you don't have one, is dancing as hard as you can for, like, set a timer, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and dance like as hard as you can. Such a good way to wake up. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, stretch your spine forward. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank. Shift the chest forward as you lower down chaturanga. Instead of doing cobra, we're gonna roll over onto our right side. You can support your head with your right hand, like supermodel pose, or lounge in, or you can come up onto your forearm. I prefer the hand on my head more. Bend both of your knees. We're gonna do a quad stretch. So the left leg is going to bend, left heel is gonna pull right towards the sitting bone or slightly up towards the hip for a quad stretch. Look back at your left shoulder. Try to have your left elbow bent, pointing in the same direction as your second and third toe. Normally the elbow will want to point to the floor. And then lengthen the left shoulder up towards the ear and then squeeze it on your back more. Engage your left glute and try to push out through the left knee. Great, release that. And now reach the left knee up and hold the left knee. And push the left knee into your hands. You can stay here or you can hold come to the inside of the left knee. Hold the pinky toe side of the left foot and see how much you can straighten the leg. Doesn't matter if your leg doesn't straighten all the way. Engage the leg and push through the foot into the hands. Awesome. Release. Switch sides. You can just roll over. So supporting yourself with your left arm in some way. Bending your right knee, reaching back for the right foot. Positioning your right shoulder. Engaging the right glute and pushing through the knee. And pulling the belly in and stretching the belly up to the throat. Great, release that. Hold on to the right knee. Push the knee away from your face. When you hold the knee like this and you push the thigh back, this is one of those places you can get this bonus femur root action that can be really helpful for the hips and low back. So staying here, or hand comes inside of the right knee, holds the pinky toe side of the right foot. Try to engage your leg as you push your foot into the resistance you're making with your hand. Really nice. Release that. Come back to lay on your belly. Stack your hands and put your forehead on your top hand. Then bend both of your knees. I had a teacher recently teach me this called egg beater. I thought was kind of playful. So you're going to widen your knees a little bit wider than your hips. And then you're going to circle your feet at opposite times. So it's kind of like an egg beater. And you're like rotating your femurs and your hip sockets. It's a nice release for the sacrum. And then you can challenge your brain while not being too hard on yourself and see if you can do it in the opposite direction. Okay. And then make your way back to downward facing dog. 3 rounds of breath here. So I thought we would move through this next portion of classes. I'm going to teach you guys a standing sequence. We'll move through it a little bit slow, and then we'll move through it a little bit quicker, one breath at a time. Okay? So downward facing dog, as you inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky. As you exhale, step your right foot forward between your hands. Widen your left hand, high runner's lunge twist. Stretch your right arm up and over. Play with your back leg. Can you straighten it and strengthen your back leg more and push through your left foot to help support your lift and spin or rotation? Then as you inhale, unwind, spin to the left, wide leg forward fold. Strong legs, push through your feet. From your hands, draw your shoulders up into your sockets. You can either do this in a fold, or you could take all of these in a lifted spine parallel to the floor, which can be a little bit better for your back if you don't have the mobility to bend at your hips. And then as you inhale, straighten your arms, lengthen your spine forward, spin your heels in towards each other. Take your hands up to your knees, goddess squat. Stretch your arms up to the sky, make a little ball up over your head. Think about pushing from your hips into your feet and then pulling your chest up. And then we're going to open up to second warrior pose, straighten the legs. I always have to heel toe my feet a little bit further away from each other. Bend your right knee over your ankle, second warrior pose. Think about what leg has more weight in it. Can you get the weight to be even so you're using your back leg more? Reverse warrior. While you're in reverse warrior, straighten the front leg and then come forward and stretch. Trikonasana, using a block under your right hand or finding the floor. Left arm spins up to the sky. Back hand on your hip, look forward, bend into your knees and kind of push yourself forward and up, Ardha Chandrasana. And square off the hips, bring both fingertips to the floor, standing splits. You can stay here or you can take a hand to your foot to pull you in closer. You can stay in standing splits or you can plant your fingertips on the floor. Come up onto the ball of the foot. Stay here in this prep or do little hops. And then we'll meet back downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up to the sky. Step your left foot forward between your hands. Right hand widens, high runner's lunge twist. Spin your feet to the left, or no, to the right, wide leg forward fold. Then straighten your arms, stretch your spine forward, bring your heels closer together, hands come up to the knees, goddess pose. Fingertips stretch to the sky. Fingertips touch like you're holding a little orb of energy above your head. And then open up into second warrior pose, shifting your feet around as you need. We tend to do a ton more weight in the front leg, which could be considered more of the masculine. We tend to forget about the feminine, which is kind of was at play a lot in society. So can we like intentionally be trying to bring in more of this female, creative, playful power? We can do that. One way we can do that in our yoga practices with our back leg. Back hand on your hip, reverse warrior. Straighten through the front leg. And on your next exhale, lengthen forward, Trikonasana. I'm a big fan of shifting your feet around when you find out like, oh, the stance is a little more narrow than I normally do. Just move your feet, you're not stuck anywhere. Back hand on your hip, look forward, press up in balance, Ardha Chandrasana. Square off your hips and your hands, standing splits. Maybe left hand holds the foot and pulls you in. So the back leg's that top one. So is it just kind of hanging out in space, or can you engage it and push through it and allow the back leg to help change the pose, even if it's on a very subtle level? Stay here or plant your hands, rise up onto the left toes, maybe take some handstand hops. And then downward facing dog. Bend your knees, come to a brief seated meditation. And we'll run through that sequence one more time. So coming back to downward facing dog. As you inhale, right leg up to the sky. Exhale, step the right foot forward between your hands. Widen the left hand, high runner's lunge twist. On your next inhale, spin your feet to the left, wide leg forward fold. Bring your heels in, stretch your chest up, goddess pose. Straighten your legs, widen your feet, front knee bends over your ankle, second warrior. Tip up and back, reverse warrior. As you inhale, straighten the front leg. And as you exhale, shift the spine forward, fingertips down, top arm up, Trikonasana. Look forward to come forward, top hand can come to your hip, Ardha Chandrasana. Square off, standing splits. Stay here for one more round of breath or handstand hops. And then we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up to the sky. Exhale, left foot forward between your hands. High runner's lunge twist. Spin your feet to the right, wide leg forward fold. Bring your heels closer together, goddess pose. Second warrior pose. Reverse warrior. Straighten the front leg, Trikonasana. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Standing splits. Handstand hops or hold standing splits. And then back downward facing dog. As you inhale, come forward to plank. You could skip this. Lower down chaturanga. Inhale, lengthen and curl. Hold this for a few rounds of breath. Strengthen the glutes and stretch out through your toes like someone's pulling your feet behind you towards the back of the room. Draw your core in and use your hands to help pull your spine forward. Lengthening the low back, and then use your head, try to levitate your head up towards the sky, lengthening your upper spine. Downward facing dog. Awesome. We're going to do one more round of that. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, foot forward between your hands. High runner's lunge twist. This one, if you want, you could go left hand more wide. I'll do left hand in line with my hip and then curl over my left shoulder. Inhale, unwind, spin your feet to the left, wide leg forward fold. You can stay here or you can bend into the back knee, either just bending the back knee or coming all the way down into Skandasana, where the back heel lifts and the ball of the foot of the front foot spins up to the sky. And then go over to the right side. And then come back through center, heels in, spine up, goddess. Second warrior. Reverse. Straighten the front leg, Trikonasana. Ardha Chandrasana. This time, if you'd like, you could bend the back knee and take a quad stretch. Standing splits. Stay here or handstand hops. Downward facing dog. Last round, inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step through. High runner's lunge twist, maybe taking your right hand a little bit wider than you normally do. Spin both of your feet to the right, wide leg forward fold. Stay here or bend into one leg at a time, either just bending the knee or doing a variation of Skandasana. Maybe bending into one leg at a time, but letting your fingers follow, like the hands are brushing through the sand. And then make your way back, heels in, arms up, goddess. Feeling this powerful female energy that is like very compassionate and loving, but also very fierce and like can set borders and call people out on bad behavior and create a new structure. Straighten the legs, second warrior pose. Reverse warrior. Straighten the front leg, Trikonasana. Half moon, maybe with a quad stretch. Standing splits. Or handstand, or add handstand hops. This time we'll meet in a standing forward fold. As you inhale, take your hands to your thighs and lengthen your spine forward. We'll be here for a few extra rounds of breath. Shoulders back, ribs in, sitting bones back. Push the thighs back, stretch the spine long. Take your hands to your hips, come up to standing. Mountain pose, eyes soft or closed. Hands down by the side, palms open to the front of the room. Shoulders on your back, stand tall. All right, let your eyes blink open. It's been one of my favorite poses for the past few months. So the feet are kind of together, and then we're going to take the right foot and we're going to turn the right foot out at an angle, kind of like you're coming into a plie, or I think this is first position in ballet. It's been a minute, but the foot will spin out. And then we're going to lift the foot up. So the upper thigh is doing this external rotation, and then we're going to lift the arms. It's kind of the picture of the Shiva, the Nataraja. Bend the bottom leg. So Shiva is the god who dances creation into existence. So things are concealed, things are created, things are sustained, things are in their fullness, and then they begin to dissolve away, and then they're concealed again. But that's all done through play. So moving your arms, feeling the power of Shiva. He does this all with steadiness, dancing on the demon of forgetfulness with a hint of a smile. And we're going to stomp out ignorance in us and in the world 3 times with the right foot. So stomp, stomp, stomp. Oh, the world needs that. As do I, I'm sure. Okay, switch sides. So standing together. Pivot the left foot out. Open the left leg, lifted. Squat into the right leg, open the arms. Imagine you could embody this energy of like creating all of the things, but even doing it with this playfulness and this hint of a smile, not taking things so seriously. Okay, let's stomp out ignorance 3 times. Hi, hi, hi. Nice. Okay, standing on your right foot. Standing on the left foot, right foot up again. This time we're gonna hook the ankle to the outside edge of the left knee and sit back into standing pigeon. So you can stay here with your hands on your thighs, or you could do another variation of this pose if you have one you like. Nice, come back up, switch sides again. Really nice. And come on up. We're going to come to sit down on our bum and do cow face. I like to do it on a block. I find most people like to do it just sitting straight on the floor. So we'll do right knee on the bottom, left leg stacks up front. It can be helpful to come up to table with your legs crossed and your feet wide so that when you sit back, there's one foot on either hip. If your back feels like it's rounding, try to shift your pelvis forward. I have a feeling that more of you guys are having your pelvis tipped forward, so draw your navel in. Close your eyes and imagine that your spine is levitating up. And then we'll add eagle arms. So open your arms up wide, cross, left arm under right. Draw the shoulders back. Slide the throat back and then lean your left ear to your left shoulder. And then right ear to right shoulder. Head back through center, open your arms, maybe wave them out, and we'll do a side stretch to either direction. So left hand on the floor, stretch your right arm up and over. Try to keep your right hip pinned down to the floor as the right hand stretches to the left. Then come back up, switch sides. Right fingertips down, left hand stretches up and over, left hip stays pinned down. All right, come back to center. The option, you can just switch your legs, or because I was trying to think of playful poses, you could switch with the swizzle. So you come up and you spin your feet to the right and then all the way to the left, and you end up in the other side. Oh, I used to do that so much in my early days of yoga. Okay. So right leg is now on top, left leg is on bottom. Adjusting the spine so it's neutral to the floor, trying to not have it tip too much forward or back, creating length. And then taking your right arm under your left arm, eagle arms. Integrate the shoulders back as you keep the chest lift up, belly in. And then go right ear over to the right shoulder. And then left ear over to the left shoulder. Okay, bring your head back up through neutral. Release the arms. Do our little stretch. So left fingertips to the floor, right arm stretches over. It doesn't matter what side you're doing. We'll do both of them. Keep the opposite hip pinned down. And then come up, second side. Really nice. And come on up. Okay, this next thing we're going to do is a shoulder stretch. It's a little bit more of a passive stretch than I normally teach in my yoga classes. But COVID has had me getting out of all of these boxes, and I do see the benefit to being able to rotate the shoulder. So only go as far it feels comfortable for you. What we're going to do is I'll try to imagine that just I'm on the mat, I'm in Cobra right now. Okay, do you feel my Cobra I got going on, Cobra prep? I'm gonna bring my hand forward and I'm gonna slide this arm through. So now this arm is flat on the floor and I'm gonna reach this arm forward. Yeah, so here I am in my Cobra for reals this time, Cobra prep. My left hand's gonna come forward. I'm gonna slide my right hand through. Right palm is faced up, forehead on the floor, left arm forward.
Yeah, so perfect. This stretch is a part of the deltoid that tends to be really tight because we always round our shoulders forward. And it's also gives a really fantastic opportunity to be, at least for me, pretty deep and uncomfortable sensations that's different than pain, but allowing it to be there. I think with what's going on right now, there's a lot of discomfort. And if discomfort is really, really challenging for you, people tend to be really reactive when discomfort comes. But if you can be comfortable with discomfort, then you can be in your center enough to figure out what the appropriate response is. But it takes a lot of work to be comfortable with discomfort because we live in a world that is so comfortable. Last few breaths. Staying in the position, you're going to take your left knee and you're going to draw your left knee up to your left side. So the left knee is kind of in line with your hip. It's kind of hiked it up there. And then take your left hand down to your right hand. So your hands are together. And then roll over onto your back. So the left hand's going to sweep across your chest. So you should be coming into a supine twist, shoulders on the back, with the left knee bent going to the right. And then you can take your right hand and maybe pin down the knee. Awesome. You can stay here in this variation, or if you'd like, you can do that mantra missile stretch where you bend your bottom leg and take the quad stretch. So the right leg would bend and the left hand would hold the foot for a bottom leg quad stretch. Breathing more into the back side of the body. The back ribs also more feminine than the front of the body. All right, release onto your back. And then we're gonna hold the left knee into the chest. And open the left knee out to the left. You can stay here, or you can take your left hand and hold to the inside of the knee, hold to the outside of the pinky foot, and straighten the left leg as much as you can for a variation of Supta Padangusthasana B. All right, release your leg, roll back over to your stomach, and we'll go into the other side. So in Cobra Prat, take your right hand a little bit forward, left hand threads under, left palm up, right arm stretches forward. You can increase the intensity if you'd like by stretching your right arm even further forward and trying to push your right armpit a little bit closer to your left bicep.
Noticing the way the mind tries to distract itself when you're uncomfortable. Is it like trying to grip onto some certain thought? And then we'll prepare to get into that supta, that reclined twist, by hiking the right knee up right. Oh no, I think I might have just changed channels. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, you can. Okay, phew. Okay, right knee hikes up to the right. And then circling your left arm over onto your back. The shoulders are on the floor. Left hand pins down the right knee. And breathing into the back of your ribs. When you get a big swoop in your back here, which is pretty common, the back of the ribs collapse onto the kidneys and the adrenals, and those are the organs that have to do with like helping us live in a chaotic world, right? We want to not abuse them when we don't need them, not need to. So in a yoga class, we really want to be loving on them and not collapsing them. So breathing fully into the back body will help you do that. If you'd like that bottom quad stretch, you can bend the bottom leg and reach down with your right hand. Really nice coming out of that. Laying down on your back, pulling the right knee into your chest, opening your right knee out to the right. Left hand could be on your left hip to avoid the hip from popping up. Staying here or reaching down for the foot and straightening the leg as much as you can. You've all taken enough classes from me, you know, that if you're going into a deep pose and your body starts to do really weird things to get into the deep pose, better to keep it modified so your body is not needing to do weird things. Instead, training optimal alignment. Really nice. Come back through center. Soles of the feet on the floor. Elbows by the floor. Push into the feet. Lift the hips up. Push down through the elbows. Push into the feet to lift the chest closer to the face. Chin slightly lifted so you're not choking. And then once you get the chest to lift towards the face, push into your feet and try to isometrically slide your heels towards your elbows, so up towards your head, and that should help traction the spine away from you. If you'd like, you could reach down and hold the sides of your yoga mat kind of down by your feet and tug at the yoga mat, push through your feet and see if you can get a little bit more depth in your pose. Trying to not bend at your most bendy place. Use your strength to anchor your bendy place more stable so you can push more mobility into your stiff places. And then slowly lower down. You can stay here or take windshield wipers with the legs. Now we're gonna do it one more time. Setting yourself up for bridge, push through the elbows, lift the hips. You can repeat one of the ones we just did, either continuing to push the elbows down on the floor or holding the mat. Or you could walk your elbows under your back and use your hands to help support your low back.
So any one of those, and you can stay holding bridge, or you could lift your right knee up to your chest and push your right foot straight up to the sky. Using the back leg here, the left leg rooting down into your left foot so that the right leg can stretch up higher. Switch sides. If you're doing the leg lift, right foot comes down, left foot lifts up, squeezing the left leg and squeezing the right leg and pushing through the right heel to lift up through your left leg. Coming down. We're going to be coming down in a few moments. If you would like to do a full bridge, you could set yourself up for a full bridge or Urdhva now and go into it, and then meet us on our backs. So when you're ready coming down, we're moving into full Urdhva. Right, and then pulling your knees into your belly, rocking side to side a little bit. And then rocking up and down if it feels okay for your spine. Otherwise, just roll over and sit up. And we'll come up right to a seated posture. I like to sit on a little bit of a cushion. Then we'll start by putting the left foot up. So the sole of the left foot's on the floor and the left knee is up. And then I'm going to open my right leg out to the side. So this is similar to Janusirsasana when the knee is on the floor, but I think this one's a little bit more fun. And then having the heel pretty close into the butt. Okay, so lean over to the right hand to the floor or elbow. So like you can plant your hand and then bend your elbow a little bit. And then stretch your top arm up and over. You could take the top hand behind the head if that feels better. You can also take this right hand and hold on to the front of the left shin. And then lean a little bit more. Maybe this top arm reaches. I've been loving these side stretches, getting this like pull and press. And then use your core, come all the way back up. And then switch sides. Right foot pulls in. Left foot out. Plant your left hand. Take a side stretch. Decide if you want to do one of the variations. And come on up. Now, removing your cushion if you have one, sitting up on your bum, we're gonna move into Navasana. And so I always, every Navasana, even after doing this for like almost 20 years, I'm rounding up quite a bit, but I always have to remind myself, oh yeah, rock back on that really nice flat area, your sacrum. I'm always like, that is not where I want to be doing Navasana. So if you do Navasana there, you're going to be strengthening your core to hold your spine more rounded. So finding your two little sitting bones that are really hard to balance on, that's where you want to be. Belly button holds into the spine. Hands can come behind the thigh. The hands can come out to the sides. The hands can hold the big toes and push out through the big toes. Or the hands could float on the side while the legs remain straight. Really nice. Come out of that. Straighten your legs in front of you now. Maybe you move the glutes to the side so you have a steady neutral base. We're going to do Paschimottanasana. Actually, let's start with Dandasana. So put the fingertips by your side.
Shoulders draw onto your backs. You wouldn't think this is a hard pose. This is a very advanced pose. It requires open hamstrings, and it's a hard one. I don't teach it often. Flex your feet. Push through your heels. Push the top of your thighs down. Chest back. So if the forward fold doesn't feel appropriate today, this Dandasana is a good option. Or from here, stretch your arms up to the sky. Use the shoulders to help pull more space in the torso. Exhale all the air out. Hollow the navel. With the navel hollowed, hinge forward and stretch. Keep your belly in as you fold. Hold whatever is in reach for you and breathe. And walk your hands back up. Dandasana one more time. Spine nice and strong. Legs strong. We're going to do this variation of the Navasana that I've recently learned. It's called Kundalini Lotus. So normally in Hatha Yoga, we do lotus by like crossing the legs and putting the feet on the opposite thigh, which I don't think many people ever need to do in their life. Kundalini Lotus, you either hold your knees and you open your knees wide so you're balancing, or you hold your big toes and you open your legs out wide. It's kind of playful, especially if you roll over onto your back. So holding your toes or your knees, draw the shoulders into the sockets, try to push down towards the front edge of your sitting bones, draw your navel in and lift your chest. Awesome, and release. Okay. Widen your legs now, and we'll do wide leg forward fold. So the legs wide, legs strong, hinge forward at your hips. You don't need to go far. Wherever you end up, isometrically pull your hands back towards you and try to draw the belly button more forward. So the belly button and the heart help lead in this pose, not the head. Legs stay strong. All right, come back to center. Use your hands, pull your knees in. Fish twist, take your right knee forward, left foot crosses over. Whole left foot's flat on the floor, sitting bones are equally grounded. Lift your chest up to the sky. Left hand comes behind your back, right arm hugs or elbows the left leg away. Keep the legs the way they are. We're going to turn to the right and bow. So the elbows bend kind of like chaturanga, bowing the forehead towards the floor. Okay. Come back up and switch legs. Nice and tall spine, twisting to the right. And turning to the left, bowing, hips can lift a little bit here. Going back up. Great, come to lay down on your back. Circle your knees together, circles.
You can do small circles or big circles. You could do little like semicircles at the bottom. Switching the direction of your knees so you're equal. I'm bringing the knees towards the chest for setting up for happy baby. The knees will widen. The knees will pull down towards the armpits as the hips resist that and push down. So not wanting to round the back. You can stay here holding the knees, or you can reach up and hold your feet. Shoulders on the back, head on the back. Some people can lift their ribs here, so keeping the ribs in. If you feel like your ribs are lifting and butt down. Maybe pulling your left heel towards your sitting bone and stretching your right leg out to the right. And switching sides, right heel pulls in, left leg pushes out. One more time on each side. Coming back through center, either staying in happy baby or straightening out through both legs. It's like Supta Kundalini Lotus. And when you're ready, releasing the legs, bringing the feet down to the floor, windshielding the femur bones. And when you're ready, moving into Shavasana or sitting upright for a seated meditation. And finding a position that you can totally relax in. This relaxation is what allows you to integrate the yoga practice. So the muscles get the benefit of the strength and flexibility. The nervous system gets strengthened. New patterns and ways of thinking get deeper embedded into the neurons of the brain. It comes through deep relaxation. It's often why Shavasana, or this ending relaxation, is considered the most important part of the yoga practice. If you tend to start planning things or start thinking in Shavasana, giving yourself these next, 5 minutes to deeply relax. Notice if there's any gripping. See if there's anything you can soften or deepen or let go of a little bit more. And begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your toes and fingers. Maybe stretch your arms up towards the wall behind you and get one more full body stretch. And when you're ready, make your way up to a seated meditation. In your seated meditation, notice how you feel. Notice any shifts. Notice if you feel like you could handle like unexpected twists and turns that life might throw at you easier, with more curiosity. And for a moment, I want you to think about the few ways that you could try to bring more play into your day. So maybe it's for 2 minutes dancing in the morning. Or like I know for me, when I try to bring more play into my day, I try to like set a timer and like play make-believe with my kids because it's challenging for me. The timer helps, but that's with kids, it's a little bit easier. Or maybe you're gonna paint, or maybe you're gonna cook, but you're gonna do it like playfully, or make beauty products, but trying to invite in that playful spirit. Because that is the antidote for like this seriousness and fear and anger, I think. Maybe invite some of your friends to engage in some play with you. Social distancing, of course. You draw your hands in front of your heart, rub your hands together. Singing is another great way to play. Playing an instrument. And let's end with one Om. Take a full breath. And then we'll exhale together. And then we'll chant. Om. Thank you so much for being here this morning. It's so great to connect with you all. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your weekend. Namaste.